Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. It's I don't know how many days I've been here at my house, but as you can tell, I'm kind of losing it. So yeah, why not make a video about mental health, right? Since I'm already losing it. No, but really, I hope you guys are all staying safe. I hope you're all staying inside. Hope you're all staying home. If you're not, because you're essential and you have to go to work, thank you so much for going to work. Thank you so much to everybody that's out there having to work still during these crazy times. We all appreciate it. We appreciate your sacrifice and your hard work. In this video, I'm gonna be doing this simple glam makeup, and I'm also gonna be sharing some tips mostly about mindfulness. I know this is a topic that might be new to some people. If you already know about it, awesome. If you don't, I feel that this is a tool we could really use right now during this time, especially for people who are dealing with anxiety or panic, and people that have maybe never felt this before and just have no idea how to handle it. I think this could be a useful tool during this time. So just for quick reference, I would like to share what the definition of mindfulness is, besides, just being mindful. But mindfulness, as stated on dictionary.com, a mental state achieved by focusing one's awareness on the present moment while calmly acknowledging and accepting one's feelings, thoughts, and bodily sensations, used as a therapeutic technique. And that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what I talk about. But I talk about how it has helped me and how I use it, because I know some people do mindfulness differently. So if you want to know how I got this look and you want to know some tips to help your mental health during this crazy time, just keep watching. And action. So I'm gonna go ahead and prime my eyes with concealer. I am really not gonna go through every step by step because this video is more about, talking about mental health. So I want to dedicate more of the talking time to that. I will leave everything down below. If you have any questions, so please feel free to send me a message, leave a comment down below. I'm wearing a sweater because not only am I a little cold, but I love cold water. I can't stand room temperature water. Even if it's winter and it's freezing, I need my iced water. So I really wanted to discuss mindfulness and anxiety today, simply because with everything going on, let me see if I can get a little closer. Yep. Simply because with everything going on, I feel that this has raised everyone's anxiety levels. Some of us already deal with anxiety or know what it feels like, but to a lot of us it could be new, and that is mostly my concern, is that this pandemic is giving people anxiety, and possibly to people that have never experienced it before and are like, what the heck do I do to get this feeling out of my head? Since we are all home, or most of us are home, because we are fortunate enough to have the work from home option, such as myself, I understand that it is hard to be all mentally there, especially with this pandemic. It's just so different to everybody. So we're just like, we don't even know how to react. When I went to the grocery store for the first time since all of this happened is when I realized that this was not a joke, it was for real. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the grocery store, I'm gonna get my groceries. I hadn't been since all this happened, and it just did not go well. My anxiety started kicking in once I started seeing the empty shelves. I saw how much people were there. It was a little crazy. So when you're in a moment of panic or anxiety starts to hit and you don't know what to do. It's a situation that you can't really get out of at the moment, right? So what can we do in the moment while we're feeling those feelings and we just can't leave and go to, let's say, home, which would be like our safe place, right? This is where mindfulness comes into play. So I'm at the grocery store and I'm freaking out because I'm seeing all these people, the empty shelves, and my mind immediately goes into like fight or flight, and I'm like, oh my god, I need to get out of here, I need to leave, I need to go home. But unfortunately, I am a grown woman, I am an adult, I have to adult and buy groceries. Nobody's gonna do it for me. So when I had a moment, luckily I was with my husband, but when I had a moment, I walked over to one of the more empty aisles and I practiced my mindfulness techniques really quick. And let me just play it out for you. It goes a little something like this. So I'm in the store and I just stand in one aisle and I really quickly just close my eyes and I just say to myself, it's okay, you're safe, you're here right now in this moment. Your husband is not too far away from you. You're okay. It's all right. We have a grocery list. We're gonna get in and out. And obviously, while I said this, I was taking breaths. I was like, obviously, this didn't make my anxiety completely vanish. It was still there. However, it did bring me back to the real world and realize, hey, this is where you're at. This is the situation you're in. We're here for one purpose, to get our groceries, get in, get out, let's do it. Was it hard? Yeah, it was hard. It was hard because all I was thinking was, stay 6 feet away from me, please. You're walking too close to me, please. Get away from me, please. I need to go home. I need to get out of here. That's what was going through my head. But sometimes, and especially like all of us who are probably dealing with anxiety, it's because we're adults and we have to go do these adult things that we simply can't avoid. So this is where mindfulness really plays its role. A second example of mindfulness, when I was going through my dark hole, as I like to call it, I had also been in a small little car accident. So I had gotten into a small little accident and I was terrified to drive. I was so scared to drive. I was like, I can't do it on my own, but of course I'm an adult. I can't just avoid driving. I have to go to work. I have to go to the store. I have to go to the gym, blah, 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 right? I cannot just avoid these adult things. So when I'm in the car, I even had a little sticky note to remind myself whenever I caught myself freaking out a little bit, when I felt my anxiety start to come in, I had a little note on there that said mindfulness, and it was just a little reminder for me to practice being mindful. Now, if you're in a situation where you can't leave, like your car, a good idea is to observe the things in your surroundings. Of course, do it safely. For example, for me, being mindful, it would be looking at the car in front of me and reading its license plate. Oh, their license plate is blah blah blah. They're from California. It is a gray Kia. Whatever other details you find. So it's about finding something and focusing on it and describing it in your head so that you can ground yourself and be in the moment. And I think this tool, not only is it effective if you're home, if you're working from home, or you catch yourself freaking out at the grocery store, but also if you are still working during this time. I understand a lot of people have to work and it sucks, but if you have to be there, you should definitely try mindfulness. I know you probably can't take 2 seconds to walk away and practice being mindful, but in the moment, if you work, let's say in retail, maybe a product that could be next to you, grab it really quick, and just describe it. You know, let's say you work at makeup. This is a Naked 3 palette, Urban Decay, it is rose gold, the colors, strange, dust, burnout, limit, buzz, so on and so forth. Describe the whole thing, and by the time you're done describing it and somebody comes up to you, a customer or a coworker, you might feel more grounded and more in the moment compared to when you were anxious 5 minutes ago. Along with mindfulness comes breath work. I try to do it while I'm practicing being mindful, but I also practice it just in general. My husband actually introduced me to breath work. There's this guy on Instagram who does like a lot of breath work. That's his thing. And my husband introduced me to him. I realized that I already sort of do breath work while I'm meditating or while I'm trying to be mindful. So I decided to kick it up a notch and practice it more often. Again, if you're working and you can't simply walk away, let's say you're at the register and there's no customers around, but you're feeling a little weird, you want to be home, you don't want to be at work because you feel like you should be safe in your home, not exposing yourself. Try doing some breath work. If you can close your eyes, good. If you can't because you have to keep a lookout, that's totally fine. As long as you're practicing your breathing, it's gonna calm you down. And I'm not just talking about breathing and just... No, take some deep breaths in through your nose and out your mouth. But when you get to breathing in, try to hold your breath for a tiny bit and it will make a whole difference. Even if you can only do maybe 5 deep breaths, it will help you feel a little bit more at ease. Again, I have the privilege to be working from home, so I try to go out on my walks, and while I'm walking, I try to practice my breath work. I try to take deep breaths in through my nose, out through my mouth, and that usually seems to help me calm down. If you are working from home and you are currently losing it, I know that it's very hard to focus on eating good, getting your sleep, working out, but it really does help so much. Since I've been working from home, I try to do my cardio by walking once a day, but obviously walking outside in my neighborhood. I could always walk once I'm done working for the day or before my day starts, but I specifically choose to walk during my work hours because that is the time where I need to stay the most sane, because it's really hard trying to work when, well, for me, I'm an overthinker. I overthink everything. So obviously this whole pandemic isn't very helpful because my mind obviously goes to the worst case scenarios. It's always thinking about what's gonna happen next, what's gonna happen next, what's gonna happen in the future. Your mind works like that. It's probably hard for you to focus on work while you're thinking about this whole situation. So the reason why I specifically choose to walk during my work hours, I'll go outside for 15-30 minutes, is because it helps me stay sane, it helps me stay grounded, and it's a really nice breather in the middle of the day to release a little bit of endorphins. Even if you can squeeze in a 30-minute little workout, whatever it is, the point is that you're trying to move and you're trying to get your mind out of there. And obviously there are tons and tons of articles and tons of facts, scientific backed up facts about how there is a correlation between your physical fitness and your mental health. Obviously when you work out, you release endorphins. Endorphins make you happy. So if you can release some endorphins in the middle of the day, why not? Why not? Along with being active comes consuming. And I know, again, this is a hard time for us to be concerned about what we're eating, what we're putting in our bodies. I totally get it. Like, I have 8 whole bags of chips in one sitting, like the family size. I will eat Oreos like there's no tomorrow. Like, I can eat some snacks. Just eat the foods that make you feel good. So for example, when I eat a whole bag of chips in one sitting, how do I feel the next morning? Not great, probably like crap. Well, maybe I won't eat a bag of chips the next day, or do you know what I mean? The biggest one I would think besides junk food is alcohol. I've mentioned before in my other mental health video that alcohol is a depressant, and I know a lot of us are turning to alcohol not because we want to exactly numb ourselves, but we're home or with our loved ones. I know I'm home with my husband. We love to have some drinks here and there, and obviously we can't go out, we can't have much fun, so what are we gonna do? Drink some alcohol. But we just have to be careful and remind ourselves that alcohol is a depressant. I'm not saying that you cannot consume alcohol or that you should completely avoid it, but you should be conscious of how much you're consuming, especially for a person like, let's say me, that I tend to be up and down a lot. And when I'm down, I'm really down, I'm really low. So alcohol doesn't really help. If I'm already feeling low and I consume alcohol, the next day I'm gonna feel beyond down, like super Debbie Downer. I'm not gonna want to do anything. I'm gonna feel super emotional. I'm gonna feel sensitive. I'm gonna feel sad. So I know what alcohol does to me. I'm not saying that it's gonna happen to everyone, but the more you consume it, the more you are raising the probability of feeling not so great. So we got our eyelashes on, we got everything on, we're ready to go sit in the living room. One last thing I wanted to add to be aware or conscious about is how much news we are watching. Hey! I'm gonna kill my cat. You guys have got to be careful of how much news you are consuming, how much news you are absorbing. I just saw this quote the other day and I posted it on my story that said something like about the news's job isn't to show you all the good news. They're obviously going to keep updating us with everything that's going on with the virus. So for our brains to constantly be consuming that negativity every day, all day, of course it's gonna mentally drain you. Of course it's gonna make you anxious. It's gonna make you stressed out. And it's gonna raise your anxiety levels through the roof. What can I do? What can I control? I can control how much news I consume, what news I am watching, etc., etc. So we have control of some things in order to get our mental health on track. We can do things, but it's up to us. Especially right now that we're home, we really have to put that self-care into high gear and just get going with it, because no one's gonna do it for us. This brings us to the end of the video. I hope that you enjoyed this salad look, and I also hope you enjoyed the tips I gave. I hope it helps somebody. If you know somebody that's still working or somebody that's just dealing with a lot of anxiety or mental health issues during this time, please share this video with them. It could help somebody out. Like always, thank you so much for watching. I'm sending y'all positive vibes, and I hope you're all staying super safe, and make sure to not finish your quarantine snacks in one sitting. See you on the next one.